Hi, I'm Chris Tunstall, coming to you from the Chris Tunstall Comedy Channel, coming to you today with a blind confidence. Yeah, it's easy to be blind about the simplest of things sometimes, and this was brought home to me just very recently. Actually, I was out doing my day job, my other day job, that is, the one I get paid for, £2.75 an hour. Yeah, do you think of that? Well, actually, it would be more, but a lot goes to charity. I'm divorcing her soon, so who cares? Anyway, so I was doing my day job, and I was driving towards this local school to drop some equipment off there. And as I came within sight of the school, I could see that standing just outside by the school gates, there was this man there. The sort of man I'm referring to, the sort of man who, one glance at them, fills you with hatred, loathing. They make you feel sick to the pit of your stomach. You know the kind of man I mean. A security man. Yeah, and they always have on that bright yellow fluorescent jacket, don't they? So there was this security guard standing there, and see, it's not that I've got anything against security guards overall, it's just that when I see one standing outside a school like that, there are two things that come to mind. I have a couple of issues with that. First issue is the issue of security. Who exactly is the one being made secure? I mean, the security guard, he's the one wearing the bright yellow jacket, isn't he? Yeah? To, make him safe, protect him from traffic, the dangers of the road. What do the kids get? Right? They get drab-coloured blazers, grey pleated skirts, charcoal grey trousers. I mean, they're the ones that need the protection, aren't they? What kind of road sense have they got? You've seen them in the mornings, haven't you? Shambling across dual carriageways, head down, iPod on, totally oblivious to the world, crossing the road in front of speeding lorries. They're the ones who need the protection. So that's my first issue. Second issue is, what's he actually doing there? The man who stands at the school gates like that. I mean, I looked at him as I was approaching the school. I thought, well, he's not a lollipop man, because this is a secondary school. So the closest he's ever going to get to being a lollipop man at a secondary school is if the kids decapitate him, stick his head on a pole, and stand around going, sweet. Yeah. So, anyway, I drove in through the gate and I thought, well, I don't know what his job is, but I'll give him a job. This'll puzzle him. I'll ask him the way to reception. So I pulled up beside him, wound down my window, but before I could say anything, he stuck his head in. He said, "You can't stop here. It's double yellow lines." I said, well, I've only stopped to ask you a question, but if you want to deter people from stopping here at all, would it not make sense to paint two bright yellow stripes just across the curb? Because two bright yellow stripes painted across the curb indicates no stopping. Yeah? And he said, he said that's only on public roads. This is a private. And I said, well, paint two stripes and make it a corporal. Anyway, he ignored my cheesy comment. He said, look, if you've got gear to drop off, you need to go up to the roundabout, make a U-turn, the mini roundabout, make a U-turn, and go in the car park on your left and drop your stuff off there. I thought, great, I've got to drop my stuff off in the middle of a car park. And there was a queue of cars building up behind me, so I didn't hang about, carried on up to the mini roundabout. Now, I managed to negotiate my way around the mini roundabout in my usual 17 manoeuvres. And it was as I was coming back down from the mini roundabout, towards the gates again, that it suddenly struck me for the first time the real purpose of the yellow fluorescent jackets. The reason they wear those is to actually draw the kids into school. Because when you look at it, the fluorescent glow of that jacket is exactly compatible with the fluorescent glow of the screen on a mobile phone. It's exactly the same. You've seen the kids, haven't you, shambling their way to school in the morning, heads down, staring at their phones, yeah? They don't talk to each other, do they? They don't talk to each other anymore, just text the person next to them. What we got first? Think it's maths. Lol. Yeah, and then they get closer to the school, and the fluorescent yellow jacket takes over, doesn't it? You see them look up, and their eyes are mesmerised by that. And that draws them in through the gate, and in they go into the school. So when you think about it, those bright yellow jackets, are the greatest truancy deterrent that this government has ever devised. And the man wearing them, wearing the jacket by the school gates, he's a sort of Pied Piper, isn't he? He's drawing the kids away from the town, you know, through the gates, towards the inevitable dark and sinister fate that awaits them beyond. Yeah? So, anyway, as I was coming down from the mini roundabout, the problem was the bright yellow fluorescent jacket started having the same effect on me. Suddenly I was mesmerised. And not only that, to make things worse, I suddenly found I was speeding up. I was putting my foot down, I was getting faster. And so I'm speeding towards the security man in his bright yellow jacket. And, you know, eventually my whole vision was just a mass of fluorescent yellow. And just at the very last second, I slammed the brakes on. I jammed the car into reverse. I started to draw back, but unfortunately his jacket had got caught under the bumper. So as I drew back, I started to draw him with me. And the last thing I saw through my windscreen was two bright yellow fluorescent arms shot into the air, and then he fell back onto the tarmac. So I stopped the car, I got out, and I stood over him, and it, for what felt like hours, and all I could think really was, why? Why me? And why him? This man in his fluorescent yellow jacket. Surely a Belisha beacon would have done just as well. And if only somebody had had the forethought to paint two yellow stripes over the curb, none of this would have happened. But as I was standing over him thinking this, I was suddenly struck by the true genius of the government and its plans in, you know, creating these yellow fluorescent jackets. Because when I thought about it, you see, if it had been the kids wearing those fluorescent jackets, presumably I would have knocked down one of the kids. But it wasn't the kids. It was this security man on the ground wearing the yellow fluorescent jacket. And in knocking him down, what had really happened is he'd saved the children. Yeah? And by saving the children, in a way he'd saved the whole of mankind. And I thought, wow, that's something really amazing. You know, this man has given his life to save mankind. And as I was standing over him thinking this, he started to rise. And I thought, well, that's even more miraculous. And he rose to a standing position. And he wobbled about a bit, dazed, you know, and then he righted himself and he sort of looked at me, and his eyes were filled with hate. And he looked at me, and the only thing I could think of to say was, did I get you? And he said, yeah, just below the waist. I said, no harm done there then, eh? And and then I looked down in shame, and I looked down at the spot where he'd been lying, you know, with his bright yellow arms outstretched above his head where he lay. And I realised that after he fell, I must have dragged him for a foot or so. And over the curb, just over the curb, he'd left two bright yellow stripes. And I thought, wow, not only has this man saved mankind, but from now on, there'll be no stopping him. Thanks for watching.